This is my son and I a couple years ago using a prototype of the pencil making glue up press that I was about to start making and selling at the time. Since then, I've made and sold out several small batches of these, and that's getting kind of annoying. I need to make a whole bunch more in one go. And to do this without it taking forever, I need to speed up the process with better jigs. Now, when I was considering how to speed up the drilling process for the holes that are centered on each end of the base and the clamping arm, I got an idea for a center drilling tool that would be more general, so I decided to make this separate video for it. I'm putting my cork rubber on the base of the tool to help it stay in place, and I'm also providing the 3D print files and SketchUp model to people who purchase the cork rubber. I'll also provide links to the hardware that's needed to build it. There's a link in the description to learn more about the cork rubber and how to purchase it, as well as other plans that you get with the purchase. This isn't the first one that I've done this with. To set up the tool, you first use a 1/4 inch bit to align the drill press with the center calibration hole on the tool, and set the fence to contact the back of the tool when it's in that position. Now when the bearings rotate to contact the workpiece, the drill bit will always be in the center of the workpiece width. There's a different setup that allows bearings to move inward for thinner workpieces, and that's what I need here because there's too much rotation and the workpiece isn't being constrained properly. My first design was a little flawed, so I had to remodel some things and reprint them. So that's what I'm doing here. After I'm done with this, I'm ready to go. So let's try it. Yep, that's working like it should. I'm not going to use it in this way, but you can just make marks across the length of a workpiece and quickly reposition it for centered holes at each one of those points by eye. What I'm going to do is use this stop block so that I know that the holes are the same distance from the ends of each of the bases and of the thinner clamping arms on the top. I don't need to change the fence position or the stop block to do this. I just rotate the bearings and it's held right where it needs to be for that to happen. And now I can batch these out. I've got my magnetic dust collection in place to keep everything clean. I'll put links in the description for that build video if you're interested in it. So there you go. Perfect alignment on all of these. Hope you got something from this, and thanks for watching. Just kidding, one more thing to talk about. If you've asked an inclined customer service question, there's a good chance that you've gotten an email from my assistant. I've had an assistant for a year. She's been doing a ton for me. I've gotten a lot more organized. I've gotten a really good morning routine down, and I've been talking to Izzy Swan quite a bit about his process, about what I'm doing, and he was just intrigued by how I was describing the way we'd work together and set up morning calls to get the day organized and how she'd do customer service and video editing and everything. So I invited Izzy to join one of our morning calls where I get set up for the day and we talk about what's going on. And I recorded that whole conversation and did a screen share as we stepped through it. And that's what you're seeing in the background here. If you're curious and you'd like to see that process of how I go about trying to run a physical products business, create content, and also have a full-time job as Vice President of Maker Products for MagSwitch, how I managed to do all of that stuff. Having a virtual assistant is part of it. The organization and the mindset is another part of it. The way you can see that video is if you are a member of my channel, and that's $3 a month. Don't do this if you're not interested in that kind of content. What you get mostly, aside from a little IN in the front of your name when you leave a comment, is access to these more in-depth, unedited, behind-the-scenes kinds of videos. Some other ones that I have just sort of conceptualized is just starting with a blank SketchUp model when I have an idea, and then just kind of going through my inner dialogue as I take it from a concept to something finished. I've actually done this with Stephanie because she works on 3D modeling, taking models that I've made and turning them into plans. So just to get her familiar with the model and the process to train her up, I've done that. And there's no reason I couldn't do a screen share of that and make it a members only kind of video. So If you want to support me, and if you want access to that kind of content, and if you want to motivate me to do more of it, then consider joining the channel. There's a link in the description if you want to check that out. Don't feel obligated. I appreciate you being here, and if you've watched to this point, then you take my videos seriously, and I really appreciate that. So once again, thanks for watching. We can finish the saw blade thing now.